This is a HeadGum podcast.
Support for the Black Girl Nerds podcast comes from appswithoutcode.com, where my girl Tara Reid is helping non-technical folks build apps without writing a single line of code. I know, super crazy, right? Totally. If you've ever said there should be an app for that, but you're not a developer, Tara's put together a free toolkit jam-packed with everything you need to get started. Just text Toolkit1 to 44222 and she'll send it your way. Seriously, you are going to be blown away with what you can do without writing code. Apps, websites, widgets, whatever. Tara's made hundreds of thousands launching her own startups, building stuff by herself. Text Toolkit1 to 44222 for your free toolkit. That's right, text Toolkit1 to 44222 before someone else steals your idea.
What's up, y'all? It's producer Will Packer, and you're listening to the Black Girl Nerds podcast. Keep it locked right here.
Hi, I'm Joy Bryant, and I'm a Black Girl Nerd, and you are listening to Black Girl Nerds podcast.
Hi, my name is Lovey, and you are listening to Black Girl Nerd.
What's up, y'all? This is Amanda Seales, comedian, writer, and creator of Get Your Life, and you are listening to the Black Girl Nerds podcast. Khaleesi.
My name is Ta-Nehisi Coates. I write for The Atlantic, and I am the writer on Black Panther right now, and you are listening to the Black Girl Nerds podcast.
Hey, this is Jada Pinkett Smith, and you're listening to Black Girl Nerds podcast.
5, 6, 7, 8. Holla boys and girls, it's the BGN. Coming from the Marvel world to the DC friends. All the way from Hollywood to the PCN. She defends everyone from sleazy men. Won't apologize for spitting Shonda rhymes. The space that we make is never colonized. Talking games and movies and actors. Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds. Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds. Yeah, better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds. Ha. Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds. Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds.
Thanks for tuning in to episode 90 of the Black Girl Nerds podcast. My name is Jamie, and I am your host. This is the Luke Cage Show, one of the most anticipated Marvel comic book TV shows to come out. Is going to premiere this Friday, September 30th on Netflix, and we are all so excited and have been waiting with bated breath since it was announced that Luke Cage was having his own show. And in this episode, we feature interviews from Cheo Hodari Coker, Mike Coulter, Simone Missick, Frank Wally, Theo Rossi, Mahershala Ali, Alfre Woodard, and Marvel's head of television, Jeff Loeb. So this episode is going to be pretty profound because it's going to prepare you for everything that you need as you get ready to binge watch Luke Cage on September 30th. Everything that you wanted to know about the preparation for this show and what to expect, you're going to hear in this interview. There are no spoilers given, so don't worry about that. If you've not seen Luke Cage, don't worry, we're not spoiling anything for you, but we are going to give you a little bit of background and a little bit of previews of what you're going to see coming up on September 30th. Also, we will have a live tweet scheduled, and this is being done both domestically and internationally on Friday, September 30th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. We have international times posted on our digital flyer on Twitter, so just follow the Twitter feed Sweet Christmas and follow Black Girl Nerds. Also follow at Geeks of Color. We're both partnering up to do this amazing live tweet, and we're going to binge watch the first 4 episodes on Friday, the next 4 episodes on Saturday, and then the final 4 episodes on Sunday. So we're going to do all of that throughout the weekend. Cheo is one who supports live tweeting. Please tweet with us. Enjoy it. We're using the hashtag Sweet Christmas. There's other tags that are being used. Misty So Lit, Cage Timber. Feel free to use as many tags as possible. I mean, honestly, the goal here is to make sure that every tag associated with Luke Cage is trending throughout this weekend. So we want to trend every Luke Cage associated hashtag. I personally think it can be done, but I'm going to leave that to you guys to make sure that that happens. So join us again on Friday, September 30th to live tweet Luke Cage. So sit back and relax. This is going to be a great show. I promise you. I know I say that often, but this one by far is my favorite one to date. Just because I'm so excited for this show. And I've seen the first 7 episodes. So you guys are in for a treat. Trust me on this. Trust me. You guys know I love my television. I have very high standards. Luke Cage exceeds those expectations. So check out Luke Cage and listen in on the show. And please share, comment, let everybody know. Black Girl Nerds has a whole show devoted to Luke Cage and has everybody from the show involved in it. Tell all your friends, your family members, let folks know that this show is happening. I think you're going to like it. So our first segment is with TV showrunner, Netflix Luke Cage creator, Mr. Cheo Hodari Coker. Enjoy. Cheo Hodari Coker is a producer and writer and also former music journalist. He's known for films such as Notorious, TV shows such as Southland, and currently he is the TV showrunner for Marvel's Luke Cage, coming up on September 30th. Thank you for tuning in to this special edition of the Black Girl Nerds podcast. My name is Jamie. I am your host. Guys, it's coming. It's soon. Netflix's new show, Luke Cage, is scheduled to drop on September 30th. And we are more than excited to have the man behind the story, the man that is running the whole show. We have Cheo Hodari Coker. He is a producer, a writer known for Notorious, Southland, and yes, he is currently running the show over at Marvel and Netflix's Luke Cage. Cheo, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. Although, you know, it's always weird when you kind of hear all these titles. It's like I feel like I need to start rapping or something. You know, it's just like, you know, that was kind of like my joke about Khaleesi on Game of Thrones. It's like she has more titles than an MC. You know, the Unburnt. Although I think the Unburnt is that would be like the flyest rap name ever. I mean, that's kind of hot.
That's my favorite title of hers, the Unburnt. Indeed.
Yeah, Mother of Dragons, but the Unburnt that's dope. That's like what? That's like, you know, that's pretty much like, you know, drop the mic kind of shit.
And I'm so happy to have our co-hosts here. We have Joy, KB, and Tora. Thank you, ladies, for coming on.
Hi. Hi.
Hey. Oh, cool.
So, Cheo, I have been blessed with the opportunity to see the first 7 episodes of the show. This show is magnificent. It's brilliant. It is, in fact, a game changer for so many fans. And we actually had the chance to meet in person at San Diego Comic-Con, which was awesome.
It was great. I mean, it was great because, I mean, that's the thing about what you guys do is that the internet just offers the opportunity for like-minded individuals to kind of connect, but not only connect, but mobilize. I mean, it's really, if you go all the way back, it's what has changed this kind of storytelling because back in the day when I used to write for Premiere Magazine, it was really the early days of Ain't It Cool News. And, yeah. you know, Harry knows that Ain't It Cool News, you know, now I'm really dating myself, but, you know, this was all the way, 2001? I wrote it was a cover story for Premiere. It was the first X-Men movie. And I was in Toronto on set. And they were freaking out because the first images of, you know, the team in their costumes had leaked. And they were freaking out because they leaked on Ain't It Cool News. And on one hand, they were like freaking out about the fact that people didn't necessarily like the costume, but at the same time, were afraid about the, a different approach that they were going to take with the movie, because that movie kind of changed things. Mm-hmm. Because, before then it was really about like, nipples on the bat suit and, those really bad Joel Schumacher Batman movies. And it had gotten to a point where the studios had underestimated the sophistication of a comic book audience. And so the internet was the first, basic check system in a way to mobilize fans to say, we want more serious storytelling. And the X-Men movies with Bryan Singer were really the first to kind of break through, and at the same time take a more serious approach. And then, the real game changer was because of the fact that they had to deal with the cool news and leaks and, those kinds of questions. They began to realize that, geeks are a mobilized force. And then, it kind of, the combination of that and Lord of the Rings and everything else, and the fact that you have this medium that people could actually directly contact without studio interference, tell people what they like, what they don't like. In a way, it really built everything, because not only does it build this, not only does it bring people together, now you have Netflix where you're everywhere. And so as a result, we market differently. So I got to go to Paris in 2 days because of the fact that we're going to open this show worldwide, not only to prevent like the kinds of leaks that they were freaking out about back in 2000s, but also because of the fact that everyone around the world is going to have a chance to watch the show. So it's not like, with this kind of show, particularly with a deep African American theme in it, like you gotta, make it a hit in the U.S. and then barnstorm. No, if you're a hit here and you're a hit everywhere, it helps black entertainment spread around the world, because they've always told us that we don't, that black doesn't travel. And I think honestly that we travel all too well, but I've never had the chance to prove it. So it's scary because it puts a lot on this show, but I really think that this show could be an ambassador in ways that people haven't anticipated yet.
And that's so amazing that it's going to, premiere internationally, and people will get to see how unapologetically black this show is.
Because I don't plan on apologizing.
Exactly. And that was what was so compelling about this story to me is it really felt like Harlem. It really felt like, we were walking the streets of Harlem and, meeting with the residents that lived there. Can you tell us a little bit about how much creative control that you had over this narrative, as well as the script and putting this show together, and kind of just walk us through the process a little bit?
I would say, the thing was that I always knew how much culture was going to resonate. And so the balance for me was the balance between making sure that I could accomplish everything that I wanted to do culturally, but then at the same time, making sure that we met the standards of geeks around the world, because particularly Marvel geeks, not only are Marvel geeks rabid, they're very specific and very articulate about what it is they want and how they want it. And so it was kind of making sure that we had that balance. I think one of the reasons that I broke through was really that pitch that I talked about, where I said when I was with Jeff Loeb and Creams Rake, where I said I saw the show as the combination of, Belly meets City of God as written by the staff of The Wire. I mean, really, strangely enough, the thing that turned them on the most, or at least Jeff, was when I said Belly. Because at the time, I didn't realize that he and Hype Williams were really tight. And so Belly, in a way, set a tone, because it let them understand that I really wanted to do something that was visually bombastic and could be identified with hip-hop, but then at the same time had the potential, for sophistication, because Malik Saeed, the way that he did the cinematography for Hype, I mean, that movie itself was beautiful. City of God really created a world, and The Wire managed to balance entertainment with, deep societal commentary, as well as, just getting real to a point where it actually puts you up on culture rather than it being, like a theme park. So that was the thing about all three, is that I wanted it to resonate in both ways, not only as a comic book story, but also as making Harlem a real place. And it was that approach. I think the person that it resonated the most with was Alfre Woodard, because Alfre has, lived on and off in Harlem. Like, she lives on the West Coast, but she's owned property in Harlem for years. And so when I was talking to her, about